Hello my lovelies, this is BLFANEDITS and I'm back with a recap of KinnPorsche episode 5. So how are we feeling after this episode? Me, I'm feeling a lot of emotions right now, but my major emotion is of sadness for Porsche and my minor emotion is of being disturbed by Vegas's fake smile and friendliness that looks so effing genuine. So as usual, I'm going to start with the recap of episode 5 and then move on to spoilers for episode 6. I feel like the last spoilers were pretty spot on to what happened in episode 5. It just goes to show that they have kept the basic structure of the series the same but have changed the details of the sequence of events that happen. So without further ado, let's get into the recap. Kinn and Porsche have woken up in the same bed, both disturbed and confused by the events of last night. Both Kinn and Porsche are on edge. When Porsche inquires what happened to him last night, Kinn says he was struck last night but he came at the right time so they couldn't do anything to him. But Kinn, you did, didn't you? You played with his body and now his mind and heart is all effed up. Porsche is obviously in a lot of pain but he picks himself up and goes in to take a shower. Then we see the youngest brother Kim spying in KinnPorsche's office. I have absolutely no idea what he's trying to find or uncover, but I'm not mad at seeing Jeff have so much screen time in this episode. I just wish we got some hint as to what Kim's intentions are because it's already episode 5 and we still don't know what Kim's motivations are for doing all this. Kinn is called out by KinnPorsche and he is told to punish Porsche for being careless enough to get drugged. Kinn reluctantly agrees to punish Porsche, but it really hurts to see what happens to Porsche next. I understand what Porsche did was wrong and punishing him was justified, but he could have used some other method of punishment. He already knows how much in pain Porsche already is because of last night, and he still gave such a gruesome punishment to Porsche. I'm quite conflicted here because I know what Kinn does is necessary to show others that Porsche does not get any special treatment and will get the same punishment as others. But on the other hand, Porsche's physical and mental condition is already so bad, and then on top of that, giving him such a harsh punishment is just so cruel and heartless. Porsche cannot believe what just happened to him. He keeps remembering the night with Kinn and it keeps killing him on the inside. He knows he has changed, his heart has changed, and he keeps cursing himself for feeling all these feelings that he shouldn't feel. He is disappointed in Kinn for treating him so harshly after what he did with him last night. How can someone love and kiss every inch of one's body and then savagely punish it and pretend nothing ever happened? This scene was so funny. Porsche is lamenting over what happened when Pete comes in and says that Athena did the same thing to him. Porsche is confused as F in this moment. He's thinking, is this part of our job or something? I commend the directors for putting in this light-hearted scene to cut all the angst and tension. Porsche goes to Kinn's room to ask permission to go out with Kinn. Kinn rudely replies that he doesn't need to ask permission for trivial things. I actually don't hate Kinn in this scene, contrary to my previous opinion of him. I kind of understand him in this moment. He's trying to desperately pretend that last night never happened and everything is the same as before. Mainly because he's still not over his love for Tavan, his ex, and all the hurt he caused him. He doesn't want to attach his feelings to someone anymore, so he's just trying to pretend that Porsche is yet another boy toy for him, and that is the reason why he called another guy in to replace Porsche in bed. But when Porsche sees that Kinn has already called another guy in to sleep with him, he's hurt. A part of him wished that Kinn also felt the same as him. Porsche gets even more confused watching this and his annoyance at Kinn rises further. Then we see this very pivotal moment in the drama where both Kinn and Porsche realize that it's just not the same with anyone else. What they did together was not just physical and they have really started caring for one another. The feelings have already taken root and now there is no turning back. I love how this scene is so beautifully filmed. There are no words spoken, but their actions tell us that this is a major turning point in the story. Also, side note, this guy who Kinn's effing is actor Kevin Joe, who played the teacher in Why Destiny. Also, him and Mile were supposed to play the main lead in My Engineer as Bon and Duin. How crazy is that? Kinn obviously couldn't do it with the guy and decides to wait for Porsche to come back. At the bar, Vegas finds him and offers Porsche to ride his bike. I can't believe that the sincerity and happiness on this sexy psycho's face is all fake, because he has only ever smiled genuinely for Pete. He has never been genuine with anyone else, and he's not genuine now. Honestly, his friendliness with Porsche gave me chills and made him so much more scarier and terrifying in this moment. Well, at least it made Porsche happy for a while. Kinn's anger rises when he gets to know that Porsche is with Vegas. He senses something off with the way Vegas was being extra friendly with Porsche, and that makes Kinn worry for Porsche. Not to mention he's also jealous of Porsche's weird closeness with Vegas. Kinn waits for Porsche full of rage, and when Porsche comes home, he explodes. Porsche retorts saying that at least the second family has not harmed him, to which Kinn screams back, "Are you saying that I have hurt you?" Porsche's reply was heartbreaking to hear. He says, "Have you not hurt me?" He's mentioning their night together. Kinn comes scaringly close to Porsche and says that he's replacing Porsche as his bodyguard. Not gonna lie, I thought they were going to kiss in this moment, and I was all excited getting ready to witness another kiss. But this stubborn ass Kinn not only did not kiss Porsche but also pushed him away and hurt his feelings. I'm telling you, if Kinn had kissed Porsche here, Porsche would have kissed him back. He was ready, but bloody Kinn ruined it with his atrocious behavior. Kim and Che meet at Kim's studio, and Che is tasked to write a song to enter into the university. Kim manipulates innocent Che here by asking him to write the song about his brother Porsche, so that he can find more information about his brother. Che readily agrees and writes a meaningful song for his brother Porsche, which touched Kim's heart. Also, Che admires and trusts Kim so much that he even gave his unlocked phone to Kim to use. I mean, I'm pretty sure no one is dumb enough to do that these days, but apparently Che is. I hope Kim doesn't betray him. Porsche gets a week off from work and goes to his house. Him and Che spend quality time together, but Porsche is not back to his usual self. He's still hurt and confused over what happened. Kinn gets to know that Porsche is back to his home, so he goes to find him. He's advised by Pete to be patient with Porsche and not lose his temper with him. Important thing to note here is that Kinn goes to Porsche's house without his gun, and Kinn is never without his gun. He always keeps his gun close to him because he cannot trust anybody, but he trusts Porsche and goes to his house to patch things with him. The change in Kinn's tone when talking to Porsche was so funny. I love this side of Kinn. He was trying desperately hard to be patient with Porsche and not raise his voice at him. Also, it was funny when Jom said he thought Kinn was a mafia and Kinn looked so shocked. That scene was hilarious. As Porsche and Kinn are talking, masked men kidnap Porsche and Kinn, handcuff them and take them to a remote location. Kunkon tasks all the bodyguards to find Kinn and Porsche. There is a chase scene, and then it shows that Kinn and Porsche are lost in the jungle. This is where the episode ends. The episode 6 preview didn't reveal much, so I hope the spoilers will be helpful in deciphering what happens next. Porsche and Kinn run deep in the woods to escape from the attackers. They reach a cliff or a slope and accidentally fall down it and become unconscious. Kinn wakes up the next morning to see unconscious Porsche next to him. He finds himself hugging Porsche tightly. Porsche slowly wakes up and his body is still weak. They both hear the attackers reaching closer, so they run together deeper into the woods. They kept running and running, and then it starts to get darker and rain starts pouring heavily. They run to look for shelter and found an old shed. Porsche and Kinn are both fully wet at this point, and Porsche is running a fever. He passes out in Kinn's arms. Kinn removes his soaked shirt and also removes Porsche's shirt. Kinn then made a fire by using Porsche's lighter. Porsche was sleeping, but he still moaned, "It's cold, it's cold." Kinn worries about him and decides the only thing to help him get rid of his cold and prevent hypothermia is tightly hugging him. Porsche had a very sound sleep that night. He even dreamt of his mother and smiled in his sleep. Porsche wakes up the next day, and as soon as he wakes up, he gets a shock because Kinn and him are both half naked, hugging each other tightly. He scolds Kinn for holding him like that. But then Kinn explains why he had to do that and that Porsche's condition was not good last night. They discuss who could be behind the abduction. and then Kinn remembers one of the kidnappers saying that they only wanted to abduct Porsche, not Kinn. Kinn then goes out to see if the weather has cleared or not. He does not come out for a long time, so Porsche worries why Kinn is not back yet. Porsche goes out to look for Kinn and finds him near a stream of water. Kinn is sharpening up a branch of tree, probably to make a spear to kill fish to eat. Porsche goes into the stream to wash his face. Porsche finds it funny that Kinn is pretending to be Bear Grylls trying to catch fish with a spear. He finds a nearby banana tree and fetches some ripe bananas to eat. Porsche sits on a rock amusing himself looking at Kinn struggling to catch a fish while he eats his sweet bananas. Kinn finally gives up catching the fish and they decide to walk north in order to find a motorway. They continue walking in circles and finally give up and were back to where they started. Kinn asks Porsche to go wash his body in the stream as he was sticky from the fever last night. Porsche goes into the stream to take a bath. It was getting dark, so Porsche asks Kinn to go with him. They both go to the stream and Kinn is sitting by the stream watching him bathe. Porsche busies himself as he bathes, but it's getting dark, so he calls out Kinn's name. But there was no response. He keeps calling Kinn's name, but there is no response whatsoever. At this point, Porsche becomes scared and paranoid. Someone pats Porsche's shoulder from the back. Porsche is terrified, but he turns only to see that it was Kinn. Kinn was playing a joke on him. Porsche pushes him away with anger and Kinn is laughing uncontrollably. Kinn hugs Porsche tightly, not letting him go. Porsche is fighting vigorously, but Kinn has no intention of letting him go. Kinn's eyes go soft and he apologizes sincerely for what happened that night. Kinn also pleads Porsche to return home with him. The words "I'm sorry" made Porsche's heart race and he felt warmth in his heart. Kinn pressed his lips on Porsche's and before he knew it, they were kissing deeply. They kiss for a while before coming out of the water. After this, they both go into the shed and talk about all different things, their likes and dislikes, etc. Porsche is starting to get to know the real Kinn, who is a lot childlike and innocent, contrary to how it looks on the outside. They keep having this heart-to-heart conversation and Porsche is loving every moment of it. They chat and chat until they both fall asleep hugging each other. It's their third day in the forest. They keep walking to find civilization, when suddenly they hear the attacker's voice. They are coming to look for them. A fight broke out between them and suddenly more gunmen appeared out of nowhere. There was a loud bang and a shot was fired at Porsche, but before it could hit Porsche, Kinn envelopes him and falls on top of him. Suddenly a familiar voice appeared. It was Pete. Pete called for Porsche and they both fought off the attackers. Kinn is unconscious and blood is gushing out uncontrollably. But then Porsche suddenly realizes something felt off and he was losing his strength. It turns out he was shot too. He fell unconscious. They are both taken to the hospital and a lot of things happen after that. But I'm going to leave my spoilers here as this is where I think the episode will stop. Exciting things are going to happen in episode 6 and we get to finally see their relationship blooming. I can't wait to see the next episode. Please leave your thoughts about episode 5 in the comment section below and I will see you all in my next video. Love you all. Bye.